Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita class. We are on chapter 14. The objective of this class is to enable reading of the shlok, to understand the basic meaning of the shlok, and to help understand the basic philosophy of Gita. We are on chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. This particular chapter is in three sections. We have covered the first two section, which is the conditioning of the soul by the material modes and the effect of conditioning by the modes. We finished it last time, and today we will be going through the new shloks of transcending the modes. How can we actually transcend these modes? Yeah, and then become free, right? So, and then we'll also see the story from Padma Puran for chapter 14, the glories of chapter 14 from Padma Puran. So let me summarize this chapter in brief, whatever we have done till now. So the first two shloks, Krishna glorifies the knowledge that he is going to speak in this chapter. He says that this knowledge is so important that those who have understood this knowledge has been able to transcend all the three modes. So this knowledge is very, very important. He says, Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharma agataha sargo api nopajayante pralaye na vyathanti cha. This is shlok number 2, right? It means that someone who has learned this knowledge, idam jnanam upashritya, after taking shelter of this knowledge, mama sadharma agata, gets it comes to my abode. He gets dharma is like quality like me, and then we talked about just like if you take a lump of gold, and a particle of gold is has all the properties of a lump of gold, but lump of gold is, so Krishna is infinite and the lump of gold is small, right? Now then it all comes from, he's saying which gyan, idam gyanam, this knowledge. What is this knowledge? This knowledge is what he has explained in chapter number 13, and it, as per Krishna in chapter number 13, gyan is to understand about body, soul and super soul, to understand who am I this body or I am soul? To understand this, the understanding of who am I, this body, difference between body, soul, and super soul is knowledge. And also, we learned in the last chapter that the body is made up of material nature. It is basically Nashwar, it is temporary, but soul is a part and parcel of Krishna, and it is eternal, right? That's what we learned. And this 21, 24 elements of which the body is made up of comes from Prakriti. Just like soul is eternal, Prakriti is also eternal. But then when the living entity, they wants to go away from Krishna, and then what happens for them? Krishna creates a material world, and the material world in which we all are staying now are because we wanted to run away from Krishna. We wanted to be our master, and we wanted to enjoy our senses. That is why we came. So Krishna created a material world for us, and he has sent all those living entities who wanted to come to enjoy and become master to this material world. And in the fourth slok of this chapter, Krishna explains that Sarva Yoneshu Konteya Murtaya Sambhavati Ya Tasam Brahma Mahat Yonir Aham Bij Pradapita. He says, all Aham Bij Pradapita. I am the seed giving father. Bij is seed. Aham is I. I am the Bij giving father to whom Mahad Yonir. Yonir is the womb. Mahad is the material nature of this material nature of this the what happens? Who is the father? He is the seed giving father of this the so all those living entity who wanted to enjoy away from Krishna, he created a temporary material world for us, and then he sent all of us to this material world, right? And then as soon as the living entity comes in contact with the material world, basically the material nature, what happens? The living entity gets conditioned. It gets conditioned by three modes of material nature. And which are the three modes of material nature? The mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. It is just like, it is, guna is also called rope is also called guna, right? So as soon as the living entity, the soul, comes in touch with the material nature Prakriti, then what happens? It gets conditioned. It gets bound by the rope. The three ropes are the rope of Tamoguna, Rajoguna, and Satoguna. These three ropes. We can explain, we can understand that these three ropes, these three modes, all the modes, whether you are in Satoguna, whether you are in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, everyone is bound. Someone, the person who is in the mode of tamas, that is in the mode of ignorance, is bound by a rope made up of iron, and someone who is in the mode of passion is bound by the rope made up of silver, and someone who is in the mode of goodness is bound by the rope of made of gold. But all are bound. No one is free. But then, if we know by the knowledge he's going to talk about in this chapter, is to understand what are the qualities of this and how we can transcend, and that is what will be the focus today, how we can transcend, because when we transcend this mode, then we actually come to the stage of Brahma Bhuta, right? So that is what we'll be learning. We also talked about the different colors that we see in this nature. We see in this universe, there are so many different colors. Any shade, you take a shade of green, it has got so many shades, right? But then if you look at, basically there are three primary colors: the red, yellow, and blue. And each of the color that comes is because of a mixture of either two colors or three colors in some percentage, right? Similarly, we see among all of us, our nature is different. We behave differently, we look differently, we even in the same family, everyone is different. Why is it so? It is because of the three modes of material nature. It depends upon what is the percentage of which mode is there in that person. Accordingly, the persons behave, which comes from our past karma and association we take in this world, and our desires, right? They are the factors. Then in the first section, we the conditioning of the soul by the material modes. Then here we talked about the mode of goodness. It talked about tatra sattvam nirmalatata prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badhanati jnana sangena chanaka. The shlok number 6. Krishna says the mode of goodness. What is the quality of the mode of goodness? It is nirmal. Nirmal means, mal means dirt. Mal is means dirt. Right. It is nirmal. It is pure. The mode of goodness is purer. It is pure. It is pure, and it is prakashakam. Prakashakam means it's full of knowledge. And then anamayam. Anamayam means it is without sin. So these are the qualities of the person who is in a mode of goodness. At the mode of goodness, it is purer. The soul is purer. In the antakaran, the inside is purer, and the knowledge is there, and they have the sins are almost finished. And because of this, why do we get dukh? We get dukh because of our sins, that we have karma, that we have done. So because we are almost out of sins, then what happens? What do we get as a result? We get sukh as a result. What is the output of that? The person who is in the mode of goodness is happy. It's sukha sangena and gyan. He's not only happy, he's knowledge as well as happy. And but these are the two, the knowledge and the gyan are also the reason for, but for the bondage, the what do you call it, the gold rope that is bound by the to the person in the sattvam, is because of the sukh the person is enjoying, and the gyan that he has acquired. Because of the sukh, they don't want to go to God. I have everything. What is the need? I'm happy, right? So then I'm happy, because you normally people run to God when they have in distress. But when you're in happy, then you say, what is the need of God? Then you know that becomes a bondage. Then you don't want to know your scriptures, you don't want to come out of it, so that becomes a bondage. And then gyan, now you don't have the right knowledge, you have the material knowledge, and because of your you have that knowledge, so you are able to do well in the and earn money, so you are contemplative, you're fine, and that becomes our reason for bondage, right? Then we talked about the next shlok, sixth, seventh one is about the mode of passion, which talks about rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tan nibadnati konteya karma sangena dehinam. Here in raja, what happens? It is full of attachment, higher attachment. attachment with family, attachment with people, attachment with material things, attachment with I need more, I need more. And that is to get that more. What happens? The person in this particular mode is going to karma sangena dehinam, is attached to the karma. It is attached to sakam karma, not only karma. Karma is very good to get attached to karma, but it is attached to fruitive activity, to work hard so that I can get money and then I can enjoy my senses. That is the mode in which the person in the mode of passion is, right? So because of which the characteristic of such a person is greed, greed, want to accumulate more wealth, endless desires, higher sense gratification, passion for opposite sex, restlessness, I need more, I need. They're never at peace. They're just trying to run after things, right? And then that's how, so because of the fruitive activities, they are actually bound. Then in tamas, in the mode of ignorance, tamasva jnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabhis tan nibadnati bharata. Here it is bound by mohanam. Mohanam is illusion. Moh, by the illusion. This may happen, this will happen. Can have lot of dreams, but doesn't want to do anything. Right? So what do they want to do? Pramad, madness, lot of sense enjoyment, uncontrolled, right? Pramad is madness, not knowing what is right, what is wrong, without that discrimination, enjoying. That is the behavior of a person in ignorance. Nidra, unlimited sleep, right? And these are the things, and alasya, laziness. These are the things which is the characteristics, or they are bound by these things. The person in ignorance. And Krishna says in the ninth shlok, Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata ज्ञानम आवृत्य तु तमः pramade sanjayate. Krishna says the person in sattvam, what happens? Sukh sangha, they get happiness. And in the person who in raja, karmani bharata, is actually fixed by, is bound by karmana. And jnanam avritya tu tama, the jnanam avritya is the jnana is covered. Person, for the person who is in tama, in the ignorance, what happened? The jnana is covered. And then what is he or she connected with? Pramade. Pramade is madness, not knowing right and wrong and doing all things for sense gratification, right? Then we talked about various objects, various things which are in three modes of material nature. And then we went to shlok number 10, where it talks about Rajah tamascha bhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata, Rajah sattvam tamasyeva tamah sattvam rajasta. Sometimes what happens for any person, no person is in a mode of exactly passion or ignorance or sattvam. The mode of it keeps on changing. So sometimes passion, sattvam, like a mode of goodness dominate, and followed by passion and ignorance. Sometimes passion dominates and sometimes ignorance dominates. That is how the behavior we all go through. And then he says, Krishna says, when sattvam, when the person is dominated by sattvam, then what happens? It says, sarvadwareshu dehe asmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivridhe sattvam ityute. So what happens when do you say when the sattvam is high dominated? Then what happens? All the 9 gates that we have in our body, that is all illuminated by knowledge. It means we are very clear about do's and don'ts. What is right, what is not, what should be done, which can help our body, which can give us happiness, and which what is, so it is all illuminated by knowledge. So that is the knowledge. Prakash is the sign of sattvam, right? And that's what will happen. And then in the 12th, lobha pravritti arambha karmanam ashama spriha rajasyetani jayante vividhe bhatashabha. So those who are bound by rajas, that is passion, what are the characteristics? How are they? Lobh, greed; pravritti, extreme attachment; arambha, always starting new work; and ashama spriha, unending desires. These are the characteristics by which the person in passion is bound. And then aprakasho apravrittischa pramado moha evacha tamasyetani jayante vividhe kurunandana. And O Kurunandan, O Arjun, the person in ignorance is bound by aprakasho. Aprakash is again not knowledge, apravritti, laziness, and pramad, madness, moh, delusion. These are the characteristics by which the person in ignorance is bound. And then we went to the last class about effects of conditioning by modes. What happens? What will happen when someone is conditioned by by the mode of goodness? What will happen? Yada satve, that is the shlok number 14. Yada satve pravridhetu pralayam yati dehabhrit tadatto tam vida lokan amalan pratipadite. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages, even ahead of Swarg. Swarg is the from Bhu Bhuva Swa. Swa is the third lok from earth. But apart from that, seventh lok is Brahma lok. Between that, you have lok of all rishis and munis. So he reaches to that lok. Yeah. And then Rajasi Pralayam Gatva Karma Sangishu Jayate Tatha Pralina Tamasi Mudhayo Nishjayate. So what happens to Rajasi? The person after that who is in a mode of passion, what will happen? Karma Sangeshu. It's bound by karma. So will take birth in the Bhu on the earthly planets and again be it will be bound by the work. It will also be doing the fruitive activity and will be doing that. But tatha pralinas tamasi mudhayo nishjayate. But someone who is in the mode of ignorance will be born in animal kingdom. It will be born in animal kingdom. It will actually fall down from the Bhu. It will go into the animal kingdom, which is the below lok from Bhu, right? कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहु सात्विकम निर्मलम phalam, rajas phalam dukkham ajnana tamsa phalam. So what is the result of pious action? The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the modes of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness, right? And then we talked about Satvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evacha pramad moho tamso bhavato jnanam evacha. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance develops foolishness, madness and illusion. And then the 18th shlok, that the last shlok for the last class was Urdhvam gachanti satvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa Janghya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. So urdhvam is up. Up gachanti satvastha. The one who is in the mode of goodness goes to the higher planets, and madhye tishtanti tasya tam rajasa. And those who are in the mode of passion, what will happen? They live in the earthly planet. And Janghya Guna Vitastha Adhoga. And what happens? And those who are in the mode of ignorance do the hellish worlds, right? This is what we finished in the last shlok. So today we start with the 19th shlok. So transcending the modes. How to transcend these three modes is what we are going to learn today. 19th shlok. Na anyam gudebhyah kartaram. यदा दष्ट्रानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारम् यदा दष्ट्रानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति. So Krishna's, yeah, Mataji, continue. Na anyam gunebhya kartaram yada dashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sodhigacchati. Now Krishna said nanyam. Nanyam is no anyam. No means no. Anyam is anything else. Gunebhya. Gunebhya is all the three qualities. The three qualities we have learned. Kartaram are the doers. Yada. Yada is when. When drashta. This when the seer, when the living, when the soul, someone for whose soul can see. Anupashyati. Anupashyati means can see. So when the soul can see that whatever work is happening is because of the three modes of material nature. Understood? Nanyam gunebhya kartaram. So whatever work is happening is because of the modes of material nature. They are doing the work. And when the seer is the person has that knowledge that whatever is happening in my life is because of the three modes of material nature. Gunebhyascha param veti, and gunebhyascha param veti. Veti means to know. Veti means to know. Whom to know? Param, the supreme Lord. And who is beyond this gunebhya, who is beyond the modes of nature. Mad bhavam doso digachati. Mad bhava means will attain to me, will come to me. So who will come to me? Who understand, who is sitting, who understands that whatever is happening is because of the three modes of material nature, which is because of the past karmas and everything. And the person, the seer, the soul, the person is fixed, the mind is fixed in the param bhavam, who is beyond these three modes of material nature. Then what will happen? That person will achieve, at least actually achieve Krishna, right? So let's read the translation. When one properly sees that in all activities, no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental of all these modes. He attains my spiritual nature. Yeah. So the soul is actually understand that I cannot influence. It is okay. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Because it is all the three modes are interacting, and let me be the watcher. I should not get, I should not get I should not entangle with these three modes which is happening, which is influencing me. My job is to focus on the param. My job is to focus on the param. That is how I can get disentangled from this body, because I am not this body, I am the soul. And whatever is happening is this because of the karma of this body, because of which I have acquired this body, because of the karma. So whatever is happening is because of, it's the three gunas are influencing. And what my job is, don't react to it, don't get entangled to it, but what one should do should be actually, Krishna says, if we are totally focused on param, because param is beyond the three modes, then that person mad bhavam sodikachati will come to me. Now if you remember in 7th chapter, the 12th slok, we have read, Krishna says in the 7th chapter 12th slok, Krishna says, ye chaiva satvika bhava rajas rajasas tamasas ye mata eveti tan vidhi na to teshu te mai. Krishna says, know that all states of being, be that goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. They all are my energy. Because you wanted to enjoy, based on your karma, I have sent you this material, and they all are my energy. And I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of these material nature. I am beyond that. I am much away from that, right? And then in the 14th sloka, Krishna says, Devi Hesha Gurmai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Taranti Me. He says, yes, this material world is actually governed by the Maya. We call this world as Mahamaya. Mahamaya we call, because that is the Krishna's energies. Devi Hesha Gurmai, this divine energy of mine. The Mahamaya is also the external energy of Krishna. He says, this divine energy of mind, which consists the three modes of material nature, is very, very difficult to overcome. One normally person will not be able to overcome it, because it is very, very difficult to come over this and be a silent watcher and concentrate mind in Krishna. It is very, very difficult to do that. He says, but those who have surrendered unto me, someone who has surrendered to me, what will happen? I will help them to cross it easily. So when we surrender to Krishna, when we give ourselves to him, it becomes his responsibility to hold us and help us to cross. So he himself says in the 14th slok of 7th chapter that this material energy in which we all are entangled is basically his divine energy. And it is very, very difficult to cross. But once we surrender to Krishna, then Krishna ensures he helps us to cross it beyond that, right? Now we go to the next slok, which is 20th slok. Gunanetan titya trin dehi deha samudbhavan Janma mrityu jara dukkhair Vimukto amritam ashnute Gunanetanatitya Dehi deha samudbhavam Janma mrityu jara dukkhair Vimukto amritashnute Padaji. Gunanetanatitya Dehi deha samudbhavan Janma mrityu jara dukkhair Mukto amrit ashnute. Now Krishna says, Guna netan aditya trin. Trin is the three. Trin is three. What three? Gunan, the three modes of material nature. Etan Gunan, etan aditya trin. So someone who can transcend these three modes of material nature, Dehi is what? Dehi is the soul. So Dehi is the soul. And what is Deh? Deh is the body. So this Deh is produced, Samudbhavam is produced. So this body is produced of the material nature. So someone who can transcend these three material nature, then what will happen? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkha. The birth, death, old age, and dukkha, disease. All this vimukta will get free of all these things. And what will happen? Amrit Ashnute. Amrit is Amrit, which makes you eternal. Amrit, nectar. Nectar makes you eternal, right? Amrit Ashnute. And will can enjoy nectar even in this life. Someone who can do this in this life, not that we have to die and then only we can enjoy. Even in this life we can enjoy that. So let's read the English translation by Srila Prabhupada. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distress, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Right? So if we can disentangle ourselves from these three modes, can just watch and keep our focus in Param, then what will happen? And we are surrendered to him, then what will happen? Even in this life, we can actually be free from the entangle. We can free ourselves from the entanglement even in this life, right? 21st Shlok. Arjunuvacha Kerlingaistrin gunanetan Atito bhavati prabhu Kim acharah katham chaitas Tin gunan attivratite Arjunuvacha Kailingastrin gunanetan Atito bhavati prabho Kimacharah katham chaitrams Tin gunan ativartate Padaji. Arjunuvacha Kailingastrin gunanetan Atito bhavati prabho Kimacharah katham chaitams Tin gunan ativartate Arjun asked the question to Krishna. Arjun says, now here he asks three questions to Krishna. What are the three questions? Kair lingaistrin. Kair means how. Lingais is symptoms. Lingais is symptoms. Trin gunan. Trin gunan is the three guna. Etan atito. Atito means someone who has transcended the three gunas. What are the symptoms? How will I know? Bhavati Prabhu, oh Krishna, how to know, how to recognize the person that he has, what are the symptoms of the person who has transcended the three modes? Yeah, what are the characteristics of that person. Kim achara. Kim means what? Achara is behavior. What is that person's behavior? Huh? And katham chetan strin gunan vartate. And how does he transcend the three modes? So here he has three questions, and that is what now Krishna is going to answer. First is, so let us read the English translation. Arjun inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior? And how does he transcend the modes of nature? Right? So, question is, what are the symptoms? What is the behavior? And how does he transcend the mode? Right? So let us read the next two shlokas. Krishna will explain by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to three modes. That is the symptoms of the person. So let us read the 22nd shlok. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha Moham eva cha Pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha Moham eva cha Pandava na dveshti sampravittani na nivrittani kankshati. Mataji. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha Moham eva cha Pandava na dveshti sampravittani na nirvittani kankshati. So Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna says, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha. Now, when we talked about Sattvam, the mode of goodness, what was the characteristics of the mode of goodness? It was Nirmalat, it was Nirmal, Prakashakam, Anamayam, right? These are the three characteristics we read. It is basically, it is pure, then Prakasham is illuminated, and basically the free of sins. Anamayam is free of sins, right? So if you look at Prakasham, so now Krishna is talking about Prakasham from Sattvam, right? So the qualities that we see in the mode of Sattvam, which is Prakasham, means knowledge, and knowledge means knowledge means all the senses are illuminated with Gyan, right? Then Pravrittim. Pravrittim was the characteristics of Rajogun, where Pravritti means fruitive activity. We will have the behavior of doing work, something, always being engaged in doing Pravritti activity. It means a lot of attachment, greed, right? Attachment, greed, running after wealth, all those things was Pravritti, which we saw in Rajaguna. And Mohanam was illusion, which we saw in ignorance, mode of ignorance. Cha Pandava, O Pandava, O Arjun, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohanam eva cha Pandava, na dveshti. Dvesh means envy. Does not envy anyone. That is a very, very important characteristics, that the person should be free from envy. If the person has envy, it is very, very difficult to grow spiritually. So what we need to do, it's very, very important to be free from envy. So how to also, just I wanted to just touch this topic. If suppose one has an envy towards that person, what the person should do? Should always praise. The opposite of envy is praise. So always praise that person or thing, whatever it is. By then the envy gets reduced. Okay, because it's very, very difficult. When you're envying someone, it is very, very difficult to praise that one, right? So opposite of envy is praise. By that you can actually kill the enviness. So Krishna says, na dveshti, when the person is free from all envy, and sampravittani, it means equivalent for that person. What happens? Gyan, is self-control, all attachment, all everything that is there, is not attached to anything. It's like, it is beyond those things. whatever we read in the three modes, right? Is beyond those qualities that we saw in the three modes. And when it is there, is not attached. And nivrittani is when it is not there, is also normal. When attachment, when people are around, when wealth is there, when honor is there, when it doesn't matter, is same. And when it is gone, then also it doesn't matter. Nivrittani is also is there. Okay. And Kankshati means desire. It has no desire. So when the person can be in that state, that it is everything is there and it's not attached, and nothing is there, it's again is in the same mentally is in the same mode. Mentally intelligence by, because why so? Because the focus of that person is param. Where is the focus of that person? Is param. The focus of the person is not on the bodily satisfaction, because all these things are attached to body, right? Everything, the attachment, the wealth, everything is for the enjoyment of the body. So if it is there, it doesn't matter. If it is not there, it also doesn't matter. Okay, that person will not desire. And where is the focus of the person? The focus of the person is actually into the param. Yeah, so nothing matters. Nothing of the material things will matter. So let us read the English translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
O son of Pandu,
O son of Pandu,
he who does not hate illumination,
he who does not hate illumination,
attachment,
attachment,
and delusion, when they are present, or long for them, when they disappear. Right? So he is some in all condition. Not understands that the person, it's a soul, I'm not a body. All these are bodily attachment. It is not with the soul. So someone who is some equal in all these things and does not crave for it when it is not there, and when it is there, it's fine. If someone could be in that mode, then what will happen is basically you can understand that person is the symptoms of the person who has transcended the modes of material nature, right? Next. Vadasino. 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 Guneryo na vichalyate. Gunavartanta ityevam. Yo vattishtanti nengate. Udasina vadasino. Guneryo na vichalyate. Gunavartanta ityevam. Yo vattishtanti nengate. Udasina vadasino. Guneryo na vichalyate. Gunavartanta ityevam. Yo vattishtanti nengate. So Krishna says udasinavad asino. So udasinavad means someone who is neutral. Udasinavad means someone who is neutral. Asina means is situated. Yeah, it means when something is when you are in some means, if you have it, it doesn't matter. If you don't have it, it doesn't matter. It means what is the mental state of that person? How is the person inside? The person, it is neutral. It is neither attached nor detached. Some, yeah. So the person is neutral. And then guneryo na vichalyate. And these three modes of material nature, na vichalyate. Vichalyate means does not disturb the person. Vichalyate means it does not create disturbance. Oh, something happens, then you start crying. Oh, this happened. I'm very, very happy. I got this. I'm very happy. All those things doesn't matter. I'm very sad. Yeah, I need this. I want to go here. I want to do this thing. I want to eat here. All those things are above that, because it doesn't matter. All those are related to bodily things. So it is beyond. Vichalyate means it doesn't get perturbed. It doesn't disturb the person. Yeah. Then guna vartant ityeva. Guna vartant means understanding that all these that thing which is that all these what do you call it, all these desires are only by the bodily, and this person is totally self-controlled. So the senses have the right knowledge, they are prakash, so they have the right knowledge, understands that no, I have to free myself from this body. I am the soul and I'm a part of Krishna and I have to go back to Krishna. And then, and so it's totally neutral to everything and just focusing on Krishna, right? Guna Vartanti Itya, and all these things, disturbance that is happening around me in the world, it's all because of the three boards of material life. All those things, the Maya, the external energy is doing whatever is happening, but I am beyond this material energy. I have to free myself from this material energy. Yo vat tishthanti nengate. And someone who is tishthanti means who is situated in that mode is the one who is actually, that is the symptoms of the person who has transcended the three modes of material nature. So let us read the English translation. Who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities,
all these reactions of the material qualities,
remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active.
knowing that the modes
Yeah, you lose something, you get something, you are, it doesn't matter, you are beyond all those things which is happening. The person, what is the symptom of that person? The person is beyond the material happiness and material distress. Understood? Because the person understands that all these are the three modes of material nature: the mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, acting. I am suffering because of the karma and I need to disentangle myself. So when that knowledge is there, then what will happen? That these will be the symptoms of person who has that knowledge, and will be, that person will be behaving like that. If you come, I am happy. If you don't come, also I am happy. Right? What happens sometimes when someone who is very much attached to children? Okay, then what will happen? I'm crying, I'm missing. No, no, no. When you are there, I'm happy. When you are not there, I'm happy, because I know I am a part of Krishna, and my everything is I'm surrendered to Krishna and I'm focusing on Krishna. Then what will happen? You are in a different plane. That person is in a different plane. That's called Brahma Bhutas plane, which is from there Shuddha Bhakti start. That is a Brahma Bhuta stage, right? Then we go to the next slok, 24th. Sama Dukha Sukha Swastha
Samadukha Sukha Swastha
Samaloshta Shama Kanchanaha
Samalostasma Kanchanah
Tulya Priya Apriyo Dhiras
Tulya Priya Apriyo Dheras
Tulya Nindatma Atma Sanstuti
Atma Samsukti
Samadukha Sukha Swastha
Samadukha Sukha Swastha
Samaloshta Shama Kanchanaha
Samalostasma Kanchanah
Tulya Priya Apriyo Dhiras
Tulya Priya Apriyo Dheras
Tulya Nindat Atma Sanstuti.
Tulya Atma Samsukti.
Now, yeah, please, Mataji, repeat. Samadukha Sukha Swastha Samaloshta Shama Kanchanaha Tulya Priya Priyo Dhiras
Yeah.
Tulya Nindatma Sanstutihi. So now Krishna is now this slok and the next slok is the answer to the second question that Arjuna has asked. Arjuna has asked, what is the behavior? That Kim Achara. What is the behavior? So now Krishna is explaining the behavior of the person who has transcended the three modes of material nature. What will happen? Sama Dukha Sukha. He is Sam. He is equal in Dukh and Sukh. Swastha. Swa means soul. Swa is soul. Who am I? I am the soul. I am not this body. Stha means situated. It is basically self-situated. He has the knowledge. He is self-realized. Swastha is self-realized. He is self-realized. Sam loshta sham kanchana. Sam loshta means a pebble, a stone. Loshta means pebble, stone. And sham kanchana. Kanchan means gold. For that person, a piece of stone and a piece of gold is equal. It doesn't matter you bring diamond in front of me or you bring stone in front of me, all are same. Neither I need gold nor I need, it doesn't matter because it's equivalent to for me. So I'm not craving for anything because everything is equal, right? So that is the behavior of the person. Sama dukkha sukha swastha is situated in self. Dukh and sukh is, it doesn't matter. It is some equal in that. And even the gold is also like a kancha stone for the person. Tulya priya apriyo. Now priya is someone who is dear and apriya is your enemy. And even between for the friend and enemy, it is tulya, it's the same. And then dhirastha, the person is steady. The person is always self-controlled. Dhiras, it's dhir, it's steady. And tulya ninda atma stuti. Ninda is dishonor and stuti is praise. So atma, someone is praising or someone is criticizing. It doesn't matter. It's same in ninda and tulya. So when someone, that is the behavior of the person who has transcended three natures, because and everything, honor, dishonor, they are part of life. It will come and go, but it is all related to this body. When you don't recognize, when you want to be away from this body, when you don't recognize this body as yours, you know that your real entity is the soul, then what will happen? It doesn't matter if someone says you are bad, let it be. I know what I am. For me, I am dedicated to, so it doesn't matter. So someone who is transcending the three modes of material nature, nothing of these things will affect. Dukh comes, okay, it's part of my karma. I don't care. Let it will pass. The way it has come, it will pass. I have to be situated in God. I have to be situated in God. So that is the behavior of the person who is transcending the three modes of material nature. Let's read the English translation. Who is situated in the self?
Who is situated in the self
And regards alike happiness and distress,
and regards alike happiness and distress,
who looks upon a lump of earth,
who looks upon a lump of earth,
a stone,
stone,
and a piece of gold
and a piece of gold
with an equal eye,
with an equal eye,
who is equal towards the desirable
who is equal towards the desirable
and the undesirable,
and the undesirable,
who is steady,
steady,
situated equally well
situated equally well
in praise and blame,
in praise and blame.
right? So that is the behavior of the person who is situated in the behavior. If I have time, I'll tell the story. I have 3 more shloks to contain, and I'll try to finish that, right? Then 25th. Mana apamana yostulya.
Mana apamana tulya.
Tulyo mitra ripukshayo.
Mitradi pakshayo.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Gunatita sa uchyate.
Gunatita samyuchyate.
Mana apamana yostulya.
Mana apamana tulya.
Tulyo mitra ripakshayo.
Tulyo mitradi pakshayo.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Gunatita sa uchyate.
Gunatita samyuchyate.
So,
Mana
yeah.
apamana tulya.
Mana apamana yostulya.
Mitradi pakshayo.
Tulyas mitrari pakshayo.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi. Gunatita sa uchyate. So Krishna says Gunatita sa uchyate. The sa is that person. That person is called uchyate, is said to be Gunatit, is beyond the modes of material nature. Who? Man apamana yosulya. When man is there, apman is there. Honor is there, dishonor is there. Tulya, he is same. Tulyo mitra pukshayo. When mitra is friend, enemy, ripu is enemy. With the friend and enemy, he is same. Then sarvarambha parityagi. Sarvarambha means all, you are all the new thing that you want to do. Sarvarambha, something that gets arambha. Arambha is starting. Sarvarambha parityagi. I don't want to start anything new. Done. Right? Gunatita, that is person is called Gunatit, beyond the modes of material nature. Right? So let us read the English translation. Who situated equally well
Situated equally well
in honor and dishonor,
in honor and dishonor,
who treats alike both friend and enemy,
who treats alike both friend and enemy,
and who has renounced all material activities,
renounced all material activities,
such a person is said to have transcended
is said to have transcended
the modes of nature. Right? So now Krishna has given this 4 shlok to explain that what are the symptoms of a person who has transcended the modes of material nature, what is his behavior, and now the next shlok we'll talk about is the third answers the third question of and how does he transcend the mode of nature? How can you transcend? So in the 26th shlok, Krishna is explaining how can one transcend the mode of material nature. So let us read the 26th shlok. Mam cha yo avyabhichareణ
Mam cha yo avyabhichareణ
bhakti yogena sevate
bhakti yogena sevate
sah gunan samatityaitan
sabgunan samatityayan
brahma bhuyaya kalpate
brahma bhuyaya kalpate
mam cha yo vyabhichareणे
mam cha yo vyabhichareణ
bhakti yogena sevate
bhakti yogena sevate
sah gunan samatityaitan
gunan samatityayan
brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
brahma bhuyaya kalpate
Mataji. Mam cha yo vyabhichareణ bhakti yogena sevate sah gunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So, how does one transcend the three modes of material nature? Mam. Mam means I, to me. Mam is to Krishna. Yah. Yah means that person. Yah means that person. Mam means me. Me is who? Krishna is speaking this. It is Krishna. Mam. Cha. Yah means that person. Avyabhicharena. Avyabhicharena means with a fully concentrated devotional service. It means one pointed devotional service. It means only Krishna, nothing else. Mam cha yah. Vyabhicharene. Vyabhicharene means full devotional service to Krishna. It means and what and how? Bhakti yogain. By what? By Bhakti Yoga. Full devotional service, full focus to Krishna by Bhakti Yoga. The sevate, those who do that, sa gunan samtityetan. That person can actually transcend the three modes of material nature. And what will happen? Brahma bhuvaya kalpate, and will reach the Brahma level of Brahma. Brahma bhuyana kalpate. So now let us again understand. Here Krishna is saying that who can transcend how to transcend the modes of material nature, right? And Krishna says to transcend, what we have to do? Mam is who? To Krishna. Yeah means those person. Vyabhicharene means do the full devotional service. What is devotional service? We talked about the 9 limbs of devotional service. What is that? Chanting the name of Krishna, then hearing about Krishna, uh, taking prasad, praying, worshipping Krishna. So all the 9 devotional services that we talk about, that is the full devotional service. And when that person, by how it's doing, not by karma yoga, not by jnana yoga, not by dhyana yoga, but by bhakti yoga. But by bhakti yoga, it means doing bhakti for Krishna. It means following all the following worshipping, decorating Krishna, worshipping Krishna, eating remnants of prasad offered to Krishna, hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna, doing services like cleaning the temple of Krishna, all these things. When we do, then what will happen? By bhakti, what happens? You develop a relation with Krishna. You are actually in the mode of relation with Krishna. When you do that, then what happens? Sir, that person, Gunan Samatitena, that person can transcend the 3 modes of material nature and comes to Brahma Bhuya Kalpate. Now the question is, when you are doing Bhakti Yoga into Krishna, why Krishna is not saying that you will come to me directly, but why is he leaving at the Brahma Bhuta stage? He's telling, because we all have read earlier that the absolute truth is in 3 forms. What are the 3 forms? It is the Brahma, Super Soul, and Bhagwan. They are the 3 forms of absolute truth, right? There are the three forms. And how does it go? First, you the when you say the Brahm is the light, the effulgence of Krishna. Super soul is when he is in everyone's heart as super soul, and Bhagwan is the Lord Himself. That is Bhagwan. Now here, when we are doing bhakti yoga, when we are doing one-pointed devotional service, then why Krishna says that you will reach the Brahma Bhuta stage, not to him? It is because if you read the question, Krishna, Arjuna has asked him that how you will reach here, Brahma. And in the next slok, he will explain that Brahma, they all are me. Yeah, whether whether it's an effulgence, whether it's a super soul, or whether it is Bhagwan, they all are my part. So it doesn't matter. So, but he says that's why he talks about the Brahma Bhuta stage, and that is from here, from Brahma Bhuta stage, when you reach the Brahma, when you say Aham Brahma, when you reach the Brahma, from there Shuddh Bhakti starts. And then you can either you can stop there, or you can move forward to realize the Param, the super soul, or to go forward and realize the Bhagwan himself by Bhakti Yoga, right? So that is, let's read the English translation. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahm. And the last stroke for today, 27th stroke of this chapter. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya avyasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya avyasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha brahmano hi pratisthaham amitasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha. So Krishna says, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. I am the basis of Brahm. So because Arjun asked him that, how can I transcend and reach the Brahma stage? So he explained that. But when someone is actually with full devotional service is actually worshipping Krishna, that person will actually reach Krishna. He says, I am the basis of Brahma, and aham and amritasya vayasya, which is immortal and which is imperishable, and Shashwat, it is eternal, and it is Sukhasya Ekantasya, and it is a ultimate happiness. Right? So let us now go to the translation. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman,
the basis of impersonal Brahman,
which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is a constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Yeah. So with this, we finish chapter number 14. Next time, we'll start chapter number 15. We'll quickly see from Pad Puran what does in the glories of this chapter 14 is written there. There's a small story. I'll just speak about that story. So always the Puran, Shivji is telling Parvati ji. The story is being narrated by Shiva to Parvati ji. Huh? So he says to Parvati ji, now let me tell you about the glories of 14th chapter. And then he says there was an island called Sinhal. And in that island there lived a king called Vikram Vetal. That was the name of the king. And he was a great warrior. And he was very, very famous for his valor. So what happened? He was going for hunting. And when he was going for hunting to a forest, he took two of his she-dogs with him. Two of his she-dogs, actually bitches, he took along with him. And when he reached the forest, there was a rabbit. He was running, and this she-dog also started running after the rabbit. And then what happened? The rabbit was like running to save his life, and finally the rabbit actually fell down underground to a place. Right now, the she-dog also fell there. Now what happened? That place where the it was a place where the rabbit had fallen. Now this place was very peaceful, and there what happened? The elephants, the deer, the lion, the snake, the peacock, everyone was sitting together and enjoying, and this was like very peaceful. This was actually the place of Rishi Vats. There was a Rishi called Vats. This was his area. He was there, and one of his disciple actually was at that point of time was at the was standing outside the hut of this Rishi. He washed his he was washing his feet, and from the feet of his the water that was flowing down, the rabbit actually went and fell there, and the Vats Rishi used to chant chapter 14 every day, and his all disciples used to do the same thing. The disciple who was washing his feet also was used to chant the chapter 14 every day. Now when the rabbit fell in that water, that that place where the kitchen that was there, he actually died, and then he was like, a viman came and took him to Swarglok. And after that, the she dog also fell there, and same thing happened to the viman came, and this she dog also went to Swargalok. Now this disciple who was seeing these two things, he laughed, he smiled, and in the meantime the king came there. And when the king came there, he was surprised because he also saw that those two, the rabbit and the dog, they turned into a different form, and they were taken somewhere. So he asked this disciple, what is this happening? These two, people from the lower planets have now actually gone into the lower consciousness, have actually taken such beautiful forms and gone, so this, and why are you smiling? So the disciple said, I'm just thinking about their past history, the last karma, last birth. This rabbit was actually a famous, was a Brahmin in Maharashtra, in a place in Maharashtra, and he was extremely wicked. Although he used to do all Brahminical, he used to follow everything, but he was extremely wicked. And his wife, she was also like was not following dharma, was not the right type of lady and following that. And this Brahmin was so much tired of this wife that finally he actually murdered her. And this Brahmin actually is the rabbit that you saw, and the wife is actually the she dog that we saw just now. So looking at their, thinking about their past life, I was smiling. And now maybe because they were fell into this pious place, and which was where chapter 14 is chanted every day, because of which they could get into that and went to Swargalok. So listening to this, the king also started chanting 14 chapter 14 every day. So request that it's good to chant the shloka of Gita, all the shloka of Gita every day. If you can do that, that's great. Yeah. So with this, I'll finish today's class. Hare Krishna. Let us chant the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.